Good morning, I'm Shehab. Nurses in England are gearing up for their latest round of strike action. Services, including intensive care, will be affected for the first time as nurses in half of the country's hospitals, mental health and community services walk out. The industrial action, which starts this evening, will run until the end of Monday, with some local exemptions to maintain life-preserving care. Jay Akbar has the details.
They make up a quarter of the NHS workforce, but once again, for 28 hours, nurses won't be at work. They'll be back on the picket line, and again, hospitals brace for delay and disruption. Members of the Royal College of Nursing will strike from 8 p.m. tonight until the end of tomorrow. Half of all hospitals in England will be affected, and nurses who work in intensive care, A&E and cancer care will be among those striking. As always, though, a small number of RCN members are required to provide a minimum standard of cover.
We are particularly prioritising emergency departments, critical care, particularly paediatric intensive care and neonatal intensive care. We're working closely with the Royal College of Nursing to agree what we are calling critical safety mitigations, that is, exceptions to the industrial action.
One such exception, Great Ormond Street Hospital, which will be staffed after serious concerns were raised. But with 6 months of action, delays have been piling up. Still, the RCN insists strikes are only part of the reason so many appointments get cancelled.
It's our nursing staff that's actually dealing with those pressures the other 364 days of the year, when they are the ones that are having to tell their patients that their surgery's cancelled day on day, that you're going to be put back on a waiting list. Nursing staff are standing up now for their patients. They need to have their voice heard, and it is really for government now to get round the table and start talks again.
Before this latest walkout has even started, the spectre of even more. The RCN will now reballot its members to walk out again from June through to December. Jay Akbar, ITV News.
The UK has officially ended its rescue mission in Sudan as the final evacuation flight took off last night. The Foreign Office confirmed that nearly 1,900 people were flown out of the country in 21 flights. Tens of thousands of people have fled Sudan in recent weeks as fighting erupted, whilst a fragile ceasefire also broke down yesterday. In the US, a manhunt is underway after 5 people, including an 8-year-old boy, were shot dead in Texas yesterday. The attack happened after neighbours told him to stop firing his rifle in his garden because they were trying to sleep. The suspect is a 38-year-old Mexican man called Francisco Oropeza, who authorities say is still at large.
We consider him armed and dangerous, and we're not going to stop until we actually arrest him and bring him into custody. But he is out there and he's a threat to the community. So I don't want anyone to think that that's something different than that. He is a threat to the community and we need the community's help.
Cold calls that scam people into buying fake investment products are to be banned by the government. Currently, there is a ban on cold calls on pension products, but it will now be extended. It's hoped that the ban will mean anyone receiving an uninvited call will know that it's a scam. And those watching next weekend's coronation service will be invited to swear allegiance to the new king. In details released about the ceremony, it has been revealed that the traditionally Christian service will also see involvement from religious leaders from other faiths. And finally, President Joe Biden has hosted the annual White House Correspondents' Dinner in Washington. The event is often seen as a chance for presidents to laugh at themselves. The 80-year-old used it as a chance to joke about knowing one of the presidents from the 19th century.
After all, I believe in the First Amendment, not just because my good friend Jimmy Madison wrote it. A lot of ways, this dinner sums up my first 2 years in office. I'll talk for 10 minutes, take 0 questions, and cheerfully walk away.
And that's all for now. I'll be back later with the lunchtime news. Until then, have a great day. Bye-bye.